now on, your life will be on the screen. This is the place where you live out your dreams.
Swipe, comment, like, share. Swipe, comment, like, share.
All the human connections you have felt before. When you hug, when you laugh, you don't need them no more. You need short attention span, like a goldfish, fed by your feed, your own toxic dish.
Swipe, comment, like, share. Swipe, comment, like, share. It's all about the algorithm, rhythm. Messing with my egotism, turning up my narcissism, It's all about the
OMG, I'm a viral success. Just lift your skirt and the ass does the rest.
Today I'm on top, tomorrow you drop. Today my shit pops, tomorrow it flops.
Who wants to be a celebrity?
Me!
Time to lose your integrity. Show them everything you got, everything you do. How you shit, how you sleep, when you laugh, when you weep. If you're miserable, you do it right. Cause you're visible, you're in the light. You can't find meaning, got no real friends. You got new followers, stay with the trends. You wanna be an artist, share your imagination. Get in line quick for the newest application.
It's all about the algorithm, rhythm. Messing with my egotism, turning up my narcissism, It's all about the algorithm.
I'm an influencer like an influenza. I sick in your mind and I'm tricking your blind. I'm a content creator, a life living hater, scrolling mindlessly, turning lifelessly. COVID was a virus putting your life into chains, but I'm the kind of virus that is messing with your brains. She, they, he, them, watching what they do. Everyone is better than successful than you. The rules are pretty clear. Keep your focus on your phone, collect as many likes, and you'll never feel alone. Connection is fake, likes are for real. The algorithm will tell you how to feel.
Swipe, comment, like, share. Swipe, comment, like, share. It's all about the algorithm, rhythm. Messing with my egotism, turning up my narcissism, It's all about the algorithm. Can you swipe for me, Alexa? Can you like me? Swipe, comment, like, share. Swipe, comment, like, share. Swipe, comment, like, share. Swipe, comment, like, share. Stop! Can we take a break?
No!
It's all about the algorithm, rhythm. Messing with my egotism, turning up my narcissism, It's all about the algorithm, rhythm. Messing with my egotism, turning up my narcissism, It's all about the algorithm, rhythm. Messing with my egotism, turning up my narcissism, It's all about the algorithm.
You know how to pick 'em, Whimsy.
Oh my good. That is the incredible Leah Kalish.
Yeah.
Leah Kalish, check her out. Be sure and support her. She's an amazing artist out of New York, does some great vocals.
Oh,
Boy, I wish I had her talent. What a
that was just the medicine I think you and I needed today. I think a lot of people need. We were talking before the show how we're just feeling all of this stressful, overwhelming energy right now. I was talking to my friend Joyce Petrus yesterday, who's a gifted astrologer, and she just confirmed this. You know, we've got a super full moon. We've got this massive comet orbiting the Earth right now that's basically a second moon. And if it couldn't get worse, we got Mercury retrograde starting on Sunday morning. So I think we're all collectively feeling this.
What's happening, Chuck? Because I feel terrible.
Well, I know
that bad.
Why I've been wigging out. You know, I've been on this nonstop gig for the last month to reorganize my apartment, take a lot of stuff to storage. I have boxes everywhere. It seemed like it was going to be this simple little projects that I was going to systematically carry out. Instead, my home is just chaos right now, and I'm hoping it's going to be better by this weekend. I want to get it resolved, but I've been very stressed out about that. And you've had your anxiety. You shared with me privately. I've spoken to other people who are going through it.
Yeah.
That's why I thought that music was just perfect. We need things to cheer us up, things to calm us, to give us hope and peace with so much we're being inundated with right now.
Well, this was the conversation that I thought we would start with. And that was why I put up the Leah Kalish video. But people are becoming increasingly depressed as they spend more and more time on their devices,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
on Facebook, whether it's Instagram, on YouTube. I find myself getting into that where I spend simply too many hours
Mhm.
in this social, because you and I do this for a living. This is kind
Mhm.
of, we have no choice. We got to come in. No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
No, you're not.
we love what we do, but sometimes you have to. When was the last time you took yourself to a concert?
In August, when I went to the Hollywood Bowl to see Cynthia Erivo, I went on a date with myself. Actually bought a picnic, a bottle of wine, took myself to a concert.
Oh,
How about yourself?
that's fantastic. I with you. The last time I was at a concert was with you.
Really? Yeah, we went to see Paul Simon together
Yeah,
with my friend Anastasia. We had an incredible time that night. And I didn't even know what a fanatical fan of Paul Simon you are.
he's my
I didn't
favorite
know.
of all time. Yeah,
Oh, then it was just perfect. We had such a
yeah.
great time.
He is
We could do it again.
he's my everything.
Do you still have your t-shirt?
No, it's the dog. The cat made love to it many, many times. She tore it to pieces. It was just, I had to let the thing go. But I did love that T-shirt, that Paul Simon T-shirt.
I never thought of it that way. When my cat destroys my chair, I can say she's making love to it.
Well, whatever she did, she tore. Look, it went through a lot of washes. I literally wore it until it came off me. It was torn off me in pieces. Oh my God.
Now, if only Paul Simon had torn it off of you in pieces, that would have completed.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Kalahari Desert a little bit, and I believe
Okay.
the actual article that was written was called something like "Reading Hamlet in the Kalahari Desert." Is this what the name was? Does anybody remember this? Reading Hamlet in the Kalahari Desert. Was that the name? Shakespeare in the Bush. Thank you. Hello. All right. So, natural history. Let's go and take a look at this. And this is what I'm going to share with you folks. And then we can have an interesting conversation about, how does this apply today? And then we'll get back to the whole wonderful world of politics. But Tuesdays, we focus more on hot topics. We're in a much broader
Yeah.
Tuesdays. We try not. We keep
You know,
overloaded by politics. I think people don't know that about Thursdays, and they keep trying to drag us into politics.
yeah, but I keep getting hits that people need a break from politics and all the misery in the world right now. I I don't want to get off subject. You want to talk about this first, but I do have a channel
Here in the
message later.
bush, Laura Bohannon, required reading for a lot of people who take like Anthropology 101, Cultural Anthropology 101. And she starts by saying, just before I left Oxford for the TIV in West Africa, conversation turned to the season of Stratford. You Americans, said a friend, often have difficulty with Shakespeare. He was, after all, a very English poet, and one can easily misinterpret the universal by misunderstanding the particular. So she decides that she's got to take some books with her into the Kalahari Desert. So she takes Hamlet.
Mm.
And she goes through this period where she notices that this culture demanded that everybody be a part of the ceremonies. She says, it was my second field trip to that African tribe. What was the name of the tribe? I apologize. It was in West Africa, where she began to discuss literature with them, right? But the point that is made in her article, the Tiv, excuse me, the name of the tribe was the Tiv, West Africa. But the point was that no one should be isolated or alone for long periods of times. It was seen as a sign of illness. And so she talks about her second field trip to an African tribe. She thought that she would just go live remotely. And then in her downtime, just so that she could reboot, ground herself, she would go into her tent and she would read Shakespeare. And what she finds out is that most of the ceremonies demanded the presence of elders from several homesteads. The people had to be there for the praying, for the prepping, etc. Every human being was needed, right? If you were going to thatch a roof, anything you were going to do. So a tremendous amount of time is spent outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is that she's spending so much time indoors that reading this book that they begin to think she's depressed. We got to get her out of there. We got to get her out of her tent. So they start inviting her to ceremony. You got to be outside, fresh air. You got to dig sweet potatoes and tell stories. And the point she made, and even though they had a very different interpretation of Hamlet, she actually tells the story to them. The point she takes away is that when we isolate, it's a universal understanding that you get from reading Hamlet in the Kalahari Desert, is that to be alone and isolated is not good for our health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's
Right.
and if you're with a remote tribe in the Kalahari Desert, or if you're in a Upper East Side apartment in New York, the same
Yeah.
is true. Isolation is isolation, and no matter who you are, it's not good for the spirit.
Right. I mean, I think some isolation is essential. You know, like you use the word reboot, like she went into her tent to be alone, to read Hamlet. I think we all need that recharging and rebooting time. But you are so right. It is essential that we have human interaction, human contact. And maybe that even ties in with what you said earlier about how we're all guilty of spending way too much time on our cell phones, our devices. It gives us a vicarious feeling that we're with other people. It simulates human contact, but it is anything but. We are actually extremely isolated when we're lost in that little world.
Yeah, and I remember when I was younger, I would just walk the neighborhood. I used to live in downtown University of Washington, actually in Seattle, and I would just walk. It
Yeah.
seems kind of like an aimless, depressing thing sort of to do, but
I
would,
love to walk.
yeah, my mom's house was on 50th, and I would walk all the way down to 39th to the last exit coffee shop and watch people play chess, and then I might play rummy but I was socializing, and I have a couple bucks for a cup of coffee. I don't see that those kinds of things existing the way they did when I was younger.
No, not as much for myself either. Of course, when I was a kid, I lived in a small town in Virginia. I now live in Los Angeles. I don't know how to directly compare it, but definitely I was like you. I always love to just go for long, long walks. I still do. I love to just observe. It's like when I'm in Europe, I like to avoid public transportation wherever possible and just walk, because I love to observe like the outdoor cafes and the shops and the people in the streets. And, I feed on that. And you also made a very important point about being in nature. And this even
Yes.
astounds me, because I know this is going to be later in the show, but I have a message from Olivia Newton-John that I channeled where she's talking about the very importance of nature. So it's just incredible how the synchronicity we have here. That's later, but you've even talked about this yourself, when you interact with your plants and your herbs. We definitely are recharged, energized, renewed by nature.
Yeah, but I'm starting to think, how many hours was I outside every day? Because if you're looking at indigenous people or the people from the Kalahari, they were never inside their tents. They were never inside their dwellings except to sleep. The rest of the time they were outside. They cooked outside. They ate outside. They played with the children. They took care of their animal. Their entire lives were outside. Farming, they grow sweet potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to think about that, because I am indoors sometimes 24 hours a day for like multiple. I just don't go out. And
I'm guilty of it too.
Unhealthy. It's really unhealthy.
Well, you know what? I know you believe in astrology. I'm a Cancer. Cancers are extremely home oriented. Like during the pandemic lockdown, when people were freaking out, I want to get out. I was in heaven being home for 5 and 6 days at a stretch, not even sticking my head out the door.
And he bakes. So not only is he a Cancer male, ladies, he bakes. Well,
I bake carrot cake, darn it.
Yeah, but yet you have struggled in love. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm sending you good vibes. You run off to Italy. That's where you're going to find love. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and say hi to people. Hi, Gigi. How are you?
Hi, Gigi Pardo Lord. Hello, Brenda. Oh, these are such sweet messages. I was just telling you before the show, you have the best. We have the best people on our show. So many people, and people I've personally interacted with on the phone, because many are clients of yours. There's a lot of love out there, and I appreciate it very much. Joel Tilson, Ukraine has declared that their F-16s have air superiority over Ukraine.
That's very good. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And Sweden now. I had a vision that Sweden would come in, and this was a couple of years ago before Sweden, of course, had become a member of NATO. But now Sweden is getting those jets, and so everything is kind of unfolding, not quite as quickly as I had hoped, but it is unfolding as we had predicted.
Yeah.
We'll have a budget deal tomorrow. What are you thinking? You think we should do the impasse prayer and start blissing away?
Why not? There's so many topics to cover today. So
all right. So Chuck, before we get started, I know you have not gotten your copy of the book yet. How did you
order it after the show?
How did you like the last book?
Oh, loved it. We had such a good interview the other day.
Right.
You and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it made me. It definitely gave me a lot to think about that book.
Yeah, we did. Well, it was one of the most complex books we've ever done, and we even mentioned how sometimes you had to go back and reread a chapter or reread a few paragraphs here and there just to comprehend because there were so many dimensions incorporated into it.
Yeah, but the main thing I took away from it is without the human experience, there are certain emotions we can't feel and certain ways of looking at the world we can't have. And I think that was one of the messages also from the author, was that they didn't have the same complexity of emotions because they lived in a world that didn't face the same challenges.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting book.
Oh, fascinating.
All right, so this month's book is a little different. It's Dreams Need Feet to Walk On, written by Marion Haley Moss. It is her autobiography as an actress and performer and some of her experiences in Hollywood, And of course, we look forward to seeing her in our studios probably for Christmas. So this will be the Christmas book if people are wanting to get a Christmas book. Right before Christmas, I think early December we'll have.
Early December, in all likelihood. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to order it as soon as we finish the show.
Oh, good.
Yes, I will just go on Amazon and click a few buttons, and it will be brought to my door in a couple of days.
Excuse me. So if anybody would like to receive a healing, please give us your name or the name of the person you'd like us to pray for, and we will include them in our prayers. Chuck, while people are putting their names in, can you just go and shout hello and say hi to everyone who's made it?
Absolutely here. You see me here. I'm trying to get all my stuff together, my cards and things, going through notes. But we have Vandyland. And of course, we said hello to Gigi Pardo-Lord and Brenda Rakestraw, our fabulous Joel Tilson. We've acknowledged him already, our floor director. Very grateful for you. So you're doing a little queen wave there. Rose Blue. Brenda Rakestraw donated $19.99. Thank you so much. That's so kind. Intuitive Kathy. Scrolling through names here so I don't repeat things. Romy Sanders. B. Sybil. Terry Gallant. Jess. Rockin' Pony Lady. Wendy Burt. Your hat designer there, Rebecca L, JS, paperback writer, Michelle Lynn, Sugar Baby's mama, Andy. Hey, Andy. Let's see. Did I say?
And of course, I wanted to give a special shout out to Brenda Rakestraw, who has the first to donate to tonight's show, $19.99. Thank you very much for that. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Are you done? Did you get a chance to say hi?
Well, I can say more hellos here. My lovely friend Joyce Petrus. I was just on the phone with her for a long time yesterday, talking about all the astrological occurrences taking place right now. Very grateful for my sweet friend. Let's see, is there anyone else I've missed here? KJ444, Joanna. Hi, Joanna. How are you? Queenie the Genie, Clarence Fields. Did I mention the Sybil? Patricia Skinner. Gary for Grace. I guess we better, Jane, we better get on with our blitzing here.
I know he wants to include everyone. He's a good guy.
I'm trying.
Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively, we say Amen. And for those of you today who are requesting a special healing, we come together at this time and we pray. We pray that you and those you love receive us perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together again, we say Amen, Amen, Amen.
Amen.
May all souls be healed.
May all souls be healed.
Well, gosh, Chuck, we got a lot of questions coming in.
Do we?
Yeah, let's just see if we can kind of see. So we have. What are you thinking about the budget?
Oh, we're trying to avoid a lot of stress and a lot of bad news in politics, but the budget deal tomorrow or the weekend, I don't know, Whimsy. I mean, the other day we were sensing like maybe something would be happening because of the election sending such a clear message to the Republicans.
I was thinking Wednesday they were going to definitely do something, but it looked appropriate on Thursday. Let's just throw cards and see what we get.
Yeah, I think we were getting Tuesday something about possibly Friday even, but we know that energy can constantly shift and change. But
it just felt to me like Trump, if you know, Trump's cards are two of swords. Like, you can't make me do anything. I'm in charge. I'm the boss. I'm the king of the road, you know, like that sort of thing. And then you have, they may have to override him. That's basically what I'm getting.
Yeah. Well, he received a strong rebuke today from a judge. It was John J. McConnell, who directly criticized him for using SNAP benefits as a weapon for politics, you know, calling how immoral it is. But anyway, let me focus on this here.
Yeah. So first, I'll go first. Two of Swords. There we are again. Trump has again, and this is Mike Johnson's cards, but same thing, Two of Swords. So he is doing the will of Trump. Mm-hmm. If Trump is in a Two of Swords, it's like mini me. Mike Johnson is like mini me. So if Trump is in a Two of Swords mode, assume the position, Mike Johnson is going to assume the position. This kind of crazy loyalty where if one says Two of Swords, close the gates, we close the gates. The opposition is moving on. Chariot in the 8th position means that they may sail off without Johnson. Well, screw you. You're fired. Let's do it anyway. I mean, I'm talking about mutiny here. And then the strength of the nation, a deep healing awaits. Archangel Raphael comes in the final outcome. The workload. It just looks like it's a temper tantrum on the part of Donald Trump in order to wield attention. And I'm telling you, once they open up the government and once people start demanding oversight, there's going to be, it's like the ethical, moral people in DC on both sides of the political aisle are going to come together and catch the thieves.
Yeah.
7 of Swords, a thief is fleeing. There's a thief fleeing DC, and the people rise up and carry the heavy load, and they move forward. They may override Trump.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Well, I'm getting, you know, first of all, I have like 3 parts here. First, it's people in their purpose right now. Responsible people, purposeful people trying to move in the right direction. A lot of decisions being made. This is describing the circumstances, great shadow, obvious deprivation right now. And people just worn out, exhausted from all of this. Yeah, a lot of cards are falling out. Discontent, a lot of competition. This is about survival, and I think it's about survival of the Republicans right now. And my last card is I got compromise. There is going to be, it's not going to be everything wanted, but there is going to be a compromise. There has to be a compromise. There has to be. So I don't know if you have any thoughts about that.
No, that makes sense. And also the fact that the 7 of Swords is fleeing the scene. That's like they're going to, the bad people are going to flee and the good people on both sides. Wait a minute, I found this. And then the Democrat, well, I found this. And then the Republican, holy hell, well, I found this. Come on, comrades, let's take back the House. I mean, it does have that kind of feeling. The chariot is movement, and the chariot is a race, political race.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the cards as political tarot, I always read that chariot as a race, and they are scared. It is in their house of opposition. They are burned. I'm telling you from what happened on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them want to quit and don't want to run again. That it's like the seven.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
out of here.
Exhaustion. Oh, yeah. It's not just the American people. It's them too. Everybody is worn out by this. I think many of us are just feeling head over the head. Our wits end. What's going on with SNAP? What's going on with the air traffic controllers? I'm sure everybody knows that in the news about how tomorrow 40 major airports are going to have to cut travel by 10%. It's going to affect thousands of flights. And I was even thinking, if this isn't resolved, not only are people not going to be able to travel to their families for Thanksgiving dinner, they may not be able to have Thanksgiving dinner. They may not even be able to afford it right now, the way it looks.
I'll tell you, there's the poor. Have you heard about this poor woman's Thanksgiving that she came up with?
No, tell me.
$20. She gets it at like the discount store, but she gets a box of mashed potatoes, like the powdered type, and a box of mac and cheese, and a box of the homemade whatever stuffing, and then she gets chicken legs, and that's a poor man's Thanksgiving. But I just want to give a special gratitude to Sugar Baby's mama. She donated 19.
Oh, thank you, Sugar Baby's mama. And
thanks us for the forest sharing gift. Yeah, I need to do this. Like just looking at that indigenous peoples from the Kalahari, like, why are you inside your hut all the time? You need to be out in the, I mean, like the fact that even there, it doesn't matter where human beings are, they have this fundamental understanding that too much isolation is not good for us. And I know some of us, like you said, are introverts. We want to be left alone. Yeah. And so we have to fight it, I think, a little bit.
You know what I am? I'm an introverted extrovert. You know, it's like we have our public personas we present when we do a show like this. In private, I tend to be very introverted. It's almost my nature to stay to myself, and I have to really fight myself on it.
Well, I know you have close friends for life.
I do.
I know you well enough to know that when you make friends with someone, it's like, that's it. He's like, he'll know you for 40 years, because I know some of your friends. And
well, my friends are my family.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm very picky about who I choose to be my friend, but once you become my friend, you are my family, and you're right for life. And I'm very loyal to my friends.
Yeah, he's good that way. All right. You want to take this, Chuck?
Well, Joel Tilson, civil unrest in Russia over the constant attacks inside Moscow and major cities with power outages and gas shortages.
Wow. You want to tackle that, Chuck? What are you thinking?
Well, I saw something in the news today. Let's see, I had a note here about drone. In fact, the headline when I saw it online was drone-infested hellscape. And they said in the war in Ukraine, ubiquitous Russian drones are now hunting medics and the wounded, which is just completely upending wartime norms for trauma care. You know, that's going on right now. Yeah, I forget what the source was. You know, I should write my sources down when I get all these news stories. I saw that. When will Putin surrender?
Let's take a look. We'll surrender.
You're much better at determining time frames with your tarot cards.
I use wands, yeah.
Or yeah, let me see here.
If it's a year, it'll be a sword. Ace of sword is 1 year.
Putin surrender.
Will Putin surrender? I want to get inside Putin's head. Where is Putin at?
Ooh.
Oh my God, you're not going to believe it.
Where'd you get? I want to hear, but I do have one card here. It's encouraging, but it's not giving me a time frame. I'm getting more things describing circumstances because that's the nature of the cards I have. So I think you're going to be far better, but for certain, there's a lot of shame right now. Putin's self-esteem, his physical body. He's fighting for his survival.
Jesus.
There's going to be a judgment,
Oh,
and
wow.
there's going to be a balance,
Oh, wow.
which is ultimately a victory and new beginnings. So I think this just confirms he's going to be out, but
Wow.
I don't know when.
Okay.
Okay, now what do you have?
I can't believe this.
What?
Mike Johnson, Trump, and Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, and Putin all have in their the immediate sense of self is two of swords.
Really?
So I have to win this war. I
Oh
am
my
the
God.
perceived Messiah.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
if at this point he's ready to break into the church. Give me your money. But these are the tithes that we collected from the mafia. This is the repentance money. Give it to me, God damn it. I held up this church. I gave you permission to collect that. I mean, like, it's really changed. Can you believe that vision, though? I can't believe that he's going to try and collect money from the church. That is so harsh. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's so
as long as
evil, so bad.
on.
That's like go to hell kind of action.
The Russian church was collecting so much money from the mafia. The mafia was propping it up, and we will pray for you. Keep giving us a percentage of the profits from the human trafficking, from the drug deals, and from the Russian mafia. From the Russian mafia. That was what they were getting their money from. You feel guilty? Give us money. All these guilty mafioso. Without mafioso, we wouldn't have the Russian church would have no profits, right? So.
Yeah.
So in the middle of this, with Putin encouraging his mafia and everybody else to be a part of the church and to prop up the church, the only people that have money right now is the church.
Yeah.
He's got star in his opposition.
Yeah.
So the star falls on Ukraine. So Ukraine is blessed. He cannot win against Ukraine. Look at this.
Yeah.
He's disgusted with his men. Go back and fight. This is the psychopathy of Putin right now. What are you doing walking away? What are you doing abandoning your post? Go back and fight, because if we go back without weapons, our weapons are gone. We will die. The abandoning of the post, the 5 of swords.
Yeah.
Ukraine hold its ground.
Ironically, a lot of those men are 14-year-old boys, teenagers. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
That's crazy. No, I was done. That was it. Queen of Swords moves into final position. She puts the past behind her. The situation will change, be done. That which is true will be done. She has a very different motto than the motto we get from the Queen of Wands, which is my way or the highway, man. She's going to be, she holds that space. The Queen of Swords is done with you. She's done with it. She puts the past behind her. The truth is the truth. You accept the truth. You are stoic and you move on. You do not sit and wallow. So this would be an indication that the truth is coming out, that maybe the sword of the courts is coming out, truth, and that the situation, he can't save himself.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you said the courts, because I got judgment and balance as part of that. Yeah. Do you have a time frame?
Let me see. The thing is, I'm getting all swords. Let me see if I get any wands at all.
Yeah.
He's going to have to write his letter of resignation.
Putin, really?
It will end.
Trump and Putin.
Putin will have to resign. It will end with him writing his. Putin will write his letter of resignation, and then he will do everything in his power to avoid being hung. He fears that according to this remote, and I don't understand where they would be doing this, but according to this remote, he fears that he will swing from the rope.
Whoa.
He fears that some tribunal will come if he does not resign, and that he will hang from the gallows the way that.
Like Saddam Hussein.
That's correct.
Yeah, something like that.
So we have this reconciliation over his resignation that would indicate a possible resignation, and then trying to avoid prosecution.
Yeah.
New guys coming in.
Yeah, this is so interesting, because I've commented before about the parallels between Putin and Trump, and how we're both getting that toward the end of the year, Trump is also going to have to resign.
Right.
I'm even wondering if Mike Johnson is going to have to resign in disgrace and shame.
Let's take a look. Mike Johnson going to have to resign. Do you think he's going to resign or just no contest, they're going to get rid of him.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. That just popped into my head while you were talking.
Hey guys, let's take a look at whether or not Mike Johnson is going to.
Will Mike Johnson have to resign? Will Johnson be forced out? Okay.
That's a better way of putting it.
Okay. I just, for whatever it's worth, I haven't pulled cards yet, but on Pendulum, when I said, will he be forced to resign, I got like a maybe. But when I said, will he be forced out, I got a yes.
Okay, that makes sense because that's different than him resigning.
Yeah. That's what it was, more strong on the yes on that. But let me see here with cards. Well,
he's stripped of duties. He will be stripped of his duties.
I agree with that. I don't even know if I need to pull cards here. I think the Pendulum answered that. You got that with your cards, but he's definitely fighting for his survival right now. A lot of decisions are being made like before. But as far as his being forced out, this did pop out, new beginnings, if that means anything. But I think we've already answered that question.
I don't know if he can survive past February.
I don't think so either. I mean, this government shutdown.
He may not be there in 2026. This is a no contest vote. I'll be honest with you. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene could kick him to the curb. I don't think this guy has the votes to stay.
You know, people have been talking about things like that. You know, I mentioned that Tuesday she was on The View. And anybody who saw that show, it was like a reinvented Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, she was eloquent.
She started to sound like a democratic socialist.
Yes, she was kind. She was professional. You know, everybody thought there was going to be this huge blowout on the show. That did not happen. She was really prepared. And some are saying, is she planning to run for president or higher office? And that's an interesting point you make. It's like she's grooming her own self, or people are advising her to, hey, tone down your act.
If she can start to change her opinion on Roe v. Wade, she could do it. She could run independent and really do some good.
She possibly could. I mean, she is a charismatic voice. Whether you love her or hate her, it's undeniable. She's charismatic.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this Mike Johnson. His opposition has an ace of wands. That would be in the next 30 days. His seat is challenged. Mike Johnson presents as the king of swords, unyielding. Look at his open fear. Again, 2 of swords, unyielding. His opposition is Johnson to take that seat. Ace of wands in the next 30 days. And then some kind of world event. He is going to have his seat challenged. He's going to try and make nice. There's going to be some kind of truth or expose that's going to be coming out on the House floor that's going to lead to an angry altercation or confrontation.
Yeah.
And I think that he's going to be asked to step down probably before February.
You know, we've been talking about all of the powerful people in the Epstein files.
Yes.
Do you think there's a chance he could be mentioned in there?
No, he's too young. He's under 40 years old, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know. That just popped into my head.
I don't think he has anything at all. I don't think he was part of the crowd. I think that what happened was that he is just a good little choir boy thinks it's his duty to be lockstep with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But one by one, everybody's leaving. He's standing there. He's a lonely little soldier by himself as Marjorie Taylor Greene and everybody else. Just, this guy is a con artist. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, the Republican Party right now is just in flames, and they know it. Something's got to be done. I see. It was someone here. It was Patricia Skinner said Marjorie Taylor Greene is taking revenge for not getting her position in Georgia. You know, I read something somewhere that she's very bitter because Donald Trump did not give her an endorsement for the Senate, and this is like her revenge.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. You thinking that Russian soldiers? I think they're going to force him into resignation from what we saw, and he's going to have to contend with the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is like we said, territorial, and his opposition is the King of Wands. So he will have to resign in order to avoid the gallows. Do they hang in Russia? Do they still have hanging in Russia? Why does he keep showing me the gallows?
I don't know. That could even be a figurative. gallows, but
Do they
I don't know if they actually do this
criminal
type of executions.
in Russia? I don't know. Why is he showing me a gallows?
I don't know.
Russia does not carry out such executions.
Mm,
So what is he thinking about? He's thinking about Nuremberg?
possibly something. That's why I said maybe it's figuratively speaking gallows, or maybe he's just losing his mind. Maybe he's thinking of things like Saddam Hussein being executed. I'm even thinking, like Mussolini, his body being hung in the streets so people could actually throw rocks at his body and beat him. Like Putin has nightmares of that.
Yes. Now, what's scary is that capital punishment carried out at the global stage could involve hanging. Yes, capital punishment is still carried out in some countries
Yeah.
with global status. Hanging, this is a method used in several countries, including Japan and Singapore, but I'm talking about, what would it be, the Hague, right? Did the Hague did away with capital punishment after World War II, didn't they?
I believe so, but I can't say authoritatively.
Hanging is an archaic method of capital punishment, is only used in few countries such as Japan and Iran. Well, so he can't go to Iran.
Yeah.
But it is this kind of fear that he has of
Yeah. Like he's not going to go to that posh castle in Siberia to be under house arrest or something,
I think he should take that deal, because if he doesn't take that deal, they're going to lynch this guy. They're going to drag him out or poison him or something. He definitely is aware that his time is up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting you mentioned that about poisoning, because he's been notorious for that, doing that to others. Remember, I even speculated on whether or not he might have poisoned Trump when they were together. Because the signs of Trump's, rapid physical decline ever since they met together.
Right. We
even wondered about that, if he could have been slipped arsenic or something.
What do you think? The Arizona Congresswoman, is she going to be sworn in soon?
Well, she's going to have to be, just like the government is going to have to be reopened. We can't continue. Yeah. I think she has to be, because wasn't she elected back in September? Something like that. And I think a judge even ruled, hey, look, her people in Arizona are not being represented right now. She has to be sworn in. Let's see. Rose Blue. TSA workers walked out, did a statewide sick out. We have 6 major airports that will close soon.
Oh my God.
Other airports. Will other state TSA workers do the same? I understand why. Well, I saw in the news today that a lot of workers, well, first of all, they've now gone 2 times without their paychecks now. And then a lot of these workers are now calling in sick. And that's when I watched the news at noon today. They said that they're calling in sick, and that many of them have no choice but to go out and get second jobs during this period. So that's intriguing. I don't know if that's the latest news.
Let's take a look at what our cards are for the FAA and the TSA. Okay. If one plane goes down, oh my God, it'll be part of Trump's legacy forever.
Oh my God, haven't planes already crashed? And
major planes with people in them? I don't think so.
Okay, maybe not. I think it's been very near mishaps. And of course, that plane crash in Louisville, the UPS plane, I think they blamed that on something with the engine of the plane itself. So I don't know if you could attribute it to this.
Right. Yeah, no. I don't
Unfortunate coincidence, so.
Yeah. I feel very tense when I'm at the airport.
Oh, I would not want to fly right now.
I feel energetically as I go into the airport. I feel the stress of the TSA.
Very, very high right now.
Everything operating under these conditions, and there are orders that the TSA are refusing.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to shut down some airports, because it's now at a point of we are refusing to serve, maybe because they can't do 80 hours a week, and it's going to put people's lives at risk.
Of course it will. We've heard those stories of people severely sleep deprived, making horrendous errors, in the control booths.
Right.
I saw in the news today, there are a lot of people who are canceling their flights and they're just going to drive to where they have to be. People are almost afraid to get on planes.
Yeah, so come on, let's get this together because I'm going to be in Colombia for Thanksgiving. I'm having a Colombian Thanksgiving.
Well, hopefully it'll be.
I invited you. He didn't want to. Didn't want to come. I told him I'd buy him a ticket. He said that he wanted to. I did. You told me you didn't come. You said you couldn't get a cat sitter.
I don't remember that. Did I say that?
Yeah. Do you want to spend a couple days in Colombia? And you said
a couple of days. Well,
no. Well, it's 10 days. It's 10 days.
Gotta ponder. I don't know if I can do that or not, but let me think about it. But then I don't know if I want to get on a plane right now.
That's the problem. All right. Elon Musk awarded $1 trillion to pay package by Tesla shareholders today.
I saw that.
I don't understand why. What's he going to do with the $1 trillion?
Well, I think it's just pure ego.
Piece of chewing gum. No, I think he's going to put it towards getting people to Mars. He's going to put it into his SpaceX, which isn't making any money.
Good, Elon, get on a rocket ship and go to Mars.
But
stay there. Except I hate to see the planet Mars with that kind of toxicity on it. But I saw that, my first hit was it's nothing more than about ego. So he can say, I'm the first trillionaire ever in the whole wide world. And I also thought because his image took such a severe beating, justifiably so, a few months ago when he was working for Trump and stealing all of our social security data, and sales of Tesla cars plummeted. I mean, his image was in the sewer. So maybe this is part of his rehabilitation of image. Look at me. I'm a trillionaire. Look how successful I am. Look how successful my company is. That's the energy I got when I heard the news story.
I think knowing his personality, he thinks of money in terms of what project can I fund, or will this get me closer to Mars? He wants to die on Mars, but not on crash landing. So it's this thing he's addicted to, or this thing he cannot let go of. So that's the first thing that comes up. And then the Two of Swords. It's too much power for one individual. I don't even know how he got in this situation, to be honest with you. He was used to be broke, Yeah. I see future grief ahead for him. I'm concerned about this addiction, codependency, possible drug use over him.
Yeah, you've seen that for a long time.
Wheel of Fortune comes out as well. Like this guy, he's not getting any younger, man. Start to take care of your body.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be traveling. I see some international trips. The money's going to be taken out and reinvested into other projects, probably the Abraham Accords and the rebuild of Gaza. I know he's donating several billion to that because they're starting.
Really? Several billion?
It's an amazing thing. They decided to build 6 oasis zones on the eastern side of Gaza. They just came out with it. I don't know where the ideas came from, but
now, if he were to actually use this massive wealth like that, use it for the higher good.
Yeah, that's one of the things he's doing is investing it in the transportation there.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be for a profit.
Did you see Billie Eilish the other day? I forget what event she was speaking at, but she donated like a quarter of her personal fortune to various charities and causes. And she was there going, I see all these billionaires in the room. What are you going to do? Which I understand pissed off a few of those billionaires.
Which room was that?
It was a few days ago. I forget what the event was. Maybe one of our viewers could enlighten us on that. But I remember seeing that in the news.
A cognitive decline. Yeah, I think they have, but I think it's just not public information.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I think they already know. I think his cabinet knows. Mike Johnson knows. They're just waiting for the right time to drop the boom and for Lindsey Graham to come in and do his little thing. Mr. President.
Mr. President, I don't know how to break it to you, but they really hate you. I mean, I'm not going to mince words with you, Mr. President. I mean, they truly that's the very side of you.
There's something cathartic about that.
Does Trump excuse me, does Trump get it?
Does Trump get it? Mary Trump, his niece, who's also a clinical psychologist, keeps talking about the great denials he is in, how he simply cannot accept reality around these things. So I'm wondering if he's still in such denial, and combine that with his apparent Alzheimer's, senility. That's a good question. I don't know if he gets it. Certainly he's putting up a front, all of his angry messages on Truth Social, his denial about the election on Tuesday, claiming, well, it was clearly rigged. And I think he even said, what if Trump had been on the ballot, this would have been different. And it was somebody today, it might have been Mary Trump, who said this. She said, but Trump was on the ballot. That's what people were voting on. They were voting on their anger at Trump and dissatisfaction.
Well, this is what people have tried to explain to the Republicans, but they're not getting it, that this guy does nothing for the Republican Party.
Nothing. He's as I said the other day, an endorsement from Trump is the kiss of death. Remember I said that about Andrew Cuomo when Trump endorsed him? I said that's like the mafia kiss of death. Anyway, Joel Tilson, Senate GOP and Democratic leaders are working on a deal today. Really? Has that been announced? Possible deal reached? Question mark. I
think so, because when I went into the energy, what I heard from the Senate was on Wednesday, Eureka, I think we've got something. Like they already were pretty sure they had something and we're going to work it out on Wednesday. So we're already on Thursday. So I would imagine, they've got a deal.
We were feeling that on Tuesday because of the election results. It was sending such an undeniably clear message to the Republicans. The public blames you, not the Democrats. And they've got to do some rehabilitation if they want to have any hope for the midterms, other than flat out cheating.
Okay. This is my question for you, Trump, because I think this could happen. Do you think we're going to get a deal in the Senate and they are going to vote against the president and it's going to be a 60+ majority? Because I think
we both kind of got that a little earlier in the show, didn't we? Maybe not the specifics like that, but we were definitely getting, there's going to be I got one of my cards, compromise. There's going to be a compromise that's reached. And I do feel, Republicans are looking to save their own asses right now. It is now being seen as a huge liability to be in alignment with Trump.
So what they could do is rework the budget. Trump refuses to sign it, but they override him. And if they can get a filibuster majority, then screw you. And would that be the nail on the coffin for Trump, do you think?
I think certainly be one of the nails, if not the nail. It's going to be very bad, especially since we're sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, especially we're getting such clear indications Trump is going to be out by the end of the year. And I'm sure people in the know already see this. They already know it. They know about his cognitive condition. They know that he's basically an obsolete president. He's a lame duck, becoming a lame duck. Sorry, I hit my computer there. He's becoming a lame duck, and they're seeing they've got to break ranks with him.
Right. Okay, well then let's go ahead, you guys. We'll take a look and see if the Senate is going to override Trump. And
I'm going to just flat out ask that.
Yeah.
Yes or no.
Are they going to get a 60 majority and override Trump?
Is the Senate going to get a 60 majority to override Trump? I got a big yes on that. Very big, strong yes.
It's 60, right? Is that what we need?
I think it is 60, and I understand correctly, they are 8 votes short of having that 60 majority.
We have a majority because slow and steady wins the race. Opposition was the truth. And then here it is again, Trump. I'm telling you that 2 of Swords, but Ace of Wands coming in. It could take a while with an Ace of Wands, but they will override the president if they have to. They're that desperate to open up the.
Oh yeah,
desperate, and
people are angry right now. The public. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Whimsy.
No. I think I was done. Longest shutdown ever.
Yes, it is. I think yesterday it officially became the longest shutdown in history. And the second longest shutdown was during Trump's first administration. So he has that distinction of being the president responsible for the two longest shutdowns.
I will do that tomorrow, Wendy. I have some herbs I have to get out. I was supposed to mail them out today, and I didn't do that. So.
Oh, you're such a marvelous herbalist, too.
Oh, thank you. I love what I'm doing. I'm drinking my holy basil right now because now I'm working with the plant holy basil, just focusing on holy basil because this is such a traumatic time right now.
Yeah, maybe that's what I need to be doing right now.
Yeah, just high dose holy basil, trying to be in nature. And somebody had said, thank you for the recommendations on forest bathing. And I think that's absolutely right. We get so many spiritual benefits just from being in nature. If you can force yourself out into nature, out by the trees, a couple of hours a day, that combined with a clean diet, you'll see a huge change in your personality, I believe.
Whimsy, this so ties in with the message I channeled today. It always amazes me, the synchronicity. It's like these souls already know in advance. Yes. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I want to wait to the right time. But the message I have is going to tie in perfectly. Well, let me just pull it up on my iPad here.
And as many of you know, Chuck is a trance medium, and he does receive messages of people who have passed on to the other side. And today he has received a message from Olivia Newton-John, who's one of my all-time, man, do I love her.
And she's someone that I actually met many years ago. A lovely, lovely soul. Just everything you would expect her to be. And I know it's such a cliche to say, oh, they have a smile that lights up a room. She really had that. She had this beautiful smile, and she did light up a room, just gracious energy. And she came to me, I think it was 2 years ago, when you gave me an assignment 1 hour before showtime. You said, I want you to channel a message from someone. And she came to me, and she had this message about, it was a very short message about how everyone should plant a tree and how we could stop global warming. And unbeknownst to me, that was your charity of the day, something about planting trees. And she knew that. I didn't know it. And now the things you're talking about, this just ties in so beautifully because I was thinking, because I hadn't come up with a message yet as late as last night. And I got this today, and I could just feel her kind of nudging at me like, I'd like to expand about what I talked about before on your show. So what I have here, I told your viewers a couple of years ago that if every single person on this planet planted just one tree, we could reverse the greenhouse effects of our seemingly out of control climate changes that are adversely affecting our precious planet Earth. The planet would be transformed. Remember what happened during the 2020 pandemic lockdown, when the waters of the Venice canals were so purified and cleansed that dolphins were witnessed swimming in the waters. Pollution in the skies began to dramatically clear. You do have the power to make enormous sweeping changes across the world. Beautiful and lasting changes. Please never forget for one moment or doubt this. We in spirit form have been sending you, I guess meaning me, we have been sending you the continual message of the great power of just one person and how collectively you are like you're like drops of water that concentrate together to make an entire ocean. Today I am speaking to you. Today I am not speaking to you necessarily about politics. You have been assaulted by that. I want to speak more about the beautiful, loving, gentle peace that comes from nature and how you have the power to assist it in perpetuating. Yeah, that's what I mean. And she said, you heal yourself in return. Oh, and she has a compliment for you. She said, Dr. Whimsy has spoken beautifully already about the energetic power of plants and herbs. Well, trees are very powerful as they each have a soul. Wise old souls. They are powerful reminders of how they are deeply grounded and connected by their roots that run deep into the ground of the earth. Trees are highly conscious and intuitive. They love us unconditionally, but at the same time are deeply disturbed by senseless destruction. A tree cries when it is being cut down. Sometimes they willingly sacrifice themselves for higher purposes, such as the need for their wood. They understand this, but they grieve and are sometimes left heartbroken by senseless waste and the collective effect it has on our planet. And Olivia said, if you must take a tree, you should also replace a tree. That is the message that I lovingly convey to all of you. That's
Oh
what
my
I
God, that was beautiful. Oh my God, that's so weird because today I wanted to talk forest bathing. I had no idea that was
I know, I had no idea. Olivia up there or wherever she is knew this. And that's the message she gave me about 2 hours ago.
Oh my God, that is just so, that means so much to me because
she complimented you.
that was really the message I had today from Spirit is go and tell your audience they've got to get out of the house and go and smell the air and just go and help a neighbor if you don't have a garden or pick up the tree. You got to get out physically moving. Our bodies are made to work and be in nature, be in the cold, breathe the air, haul the snow. These things make us feel alive and they're important to our mental and physical health. And the trees, the forest bathing, as somebody had pointed out. Wow, what a blessing to get that message from.
I thought it was beautiful when I got it. It was one of the shorter messages. I was just typing it quickly, and I hope this would be enough to read on the show. But I think Olivia conveyed, because she had told us 2 years ago, every person on this planet just planted one tree, what a difference! It would just turn around global warming.
Oh, that's amazing! Thank you so much.
But you've talked about many times about plants and how they have a soul and how they communicate with us. That's why it's important to be an energy, the energy of nature. And she further elaborated that trees are like old souls and they're literally grounded, rooted deep into the soil of the earth and connected. And I've got to tell you, I have sensed that when I have watched a beautiful tree being senselessly cut down and ground up for mulch. I have energetically felt that tree like screaming and crying, like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? And she was saying that happens, even though trees sometimes do sacrifice themselves for their higher cause, like the wood they offer us.
Conscious beings. Yeah, I have a friend who the tree was, something happened and I guess the tree fell in half or something. They were worried it was going to hurt her house. And then they had to cut the tree in half and it was just a stump. And she would go and send love to the tree. Like, I'm so sorry I do this. And then from the sides of the trees was sprouting the tree started sprouting, just growing out the sideways. She's like, you're alive. Oh, thank God you're alive. So
you can't hold down a good tree.
Yeah, you can't. Well, its main part is in that center area. So you cut that tree, you literally cut its heart out. But I guess if you cut above that, it can still survive.
Yeah. I loved what she said. She said, if you take a tree, replace a tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much, Alexandra Tiralt, for that lovely donation of $20. It's
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we have a couple more before we close today.
Okay. Scientists and arborists are working together to bring back the American chestnut trees. Well, that's beautiful. I don't know a whole lot about that, but that's beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. Are American chestnut trees endangered?
I know hazelnuts. What are the trees that are dying because they've got beetles and diseases? There's a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. We had chestnut trees in my backyard when I was growing up in Virginia. I used to love those in autumn time.
Wow, nice. Well, I think did we get to everybody's questions today? They're disseminated by diseases years ago. Oh yeah, the chestnut was nearly wiped out.
Really? I did not know that.
Oh my God. The elm trees. The elm trees were also nearly wiped out.
Yeah. Oh my God. I did not know this.
Yeah, diseases come and they nearly, they can take out stuff. I just want to make sure that I got to every major question. Oh, is it safe? What are you thinking, Chuck? Do you think it's safe to travel? The impression I got when I quickly remote viewed the TSA was that they feel that if this situation continues, they can't operate. I didn't feel as a TSA officer when I went into that energy that we're going to have to order things shut down.
And that's what's happening tomorrow. I just know from a personal perspective, I would not want to be anywhere near an airplane right now, unless it were just a dire emergency and I had no choice. Like I was watching on the news coverage today, there were people who were just right there at the airport saying, I'd rather drive.
So people are thinking I got to cancel. Well, let me just see, because right now I can't get my money back. But I fly out on the 19th, so let's hope by the no, I fly out on the 18th.
Yeah.
Doing a red eye on the 18th. Sleep, wake up in Miami.
You know what, Whimsy? You've got many people out here I know who are going to be praying for you. I think you'll be okay. I know that. Paperback Writer says, Whimsy, you better leave for the airport at dawn. The lines are hours long to get through security. I heard that today. I heard they said expect major delays in security lines.
Really?
Yeah, at least right now until this is resolved.
Well, I won't be leaving for another 2-3 weeks. I'm hoping things will be settled.
Hopefully, well, we're getting that the government shutdown is likely going to be coming to an end soon, and presumably that will settle this situation as well. People will get their paychecks and people will have a chance to stabilize. They're not going to have to be working second jobs to survive. Hopefully also people are going to get their SNAP benefits. The judge, I mentioned earlier, Judge McConnell, I forget where he's located, but he rebuked Trump and said, no, you have to pay the full amount. You have to pay it tomorrow. People have to get their SNAP benefits tomorrow. So I guess the big question is Trump going to further fight against this?
He's not a real president. He's not. He's just a little kid having a temper tantrum on a power. He's not a real president. He doesn't care about the American people.
No, he doesn't.
Our country. He doesn't care about the Constitution or any of the things that we as Americans hold sacred.
No.
These are our sacred foundations. This is something that we're very proud of as Americans. We're proud. We care about our Constitution.
Yeah, we actually do very much. When I was a kid growing up, my favorite classes in school were history and government. I grew up loving this. From the time I was 9 years old, I read the newspaper every morning. So I've always been invested in this, and I always had such a love for our country and our government. And it's very dismaying for people, shall we say, of our age to be watching this all taking place.
I think the solution, Paperback Writer, and I think Chuck will chime in and probably agree with me, is that the Senate is going to have to override the president.
Yes.
And at that point, it's basically over for him, because that is the kind of public humiliation I don't think he can come back from.
Right. Well, as you just said, he's like a petulant little child, and they know this. They've got to, shall we say, grow a pair, take charge. Yeah, they're going to have to override him. And right now, the Republicans are just fighting for their individual survival.
Right.
Aside from just flat out cheating and gerrymandering, most of them know there's no way they're going to get reelected. Right now, there is so much public anger and distress right now. It's been coming to a head for quite a while.
Work.
Yeah.
Right? Blazing Saddles. Work.
Yeah.
He wasn't really working. He was just signing things and he didn't even know what he was signing.
The very thing he accuses Joe Biden of, with the auto pen. Crooked Joe Biden didn't even know what he was signing with those pardons. It was auto pen. They have to be declared invalid. He's such a gaslighter.
Have you ever seen that from Blazing Saddles, where he's just signing all those empty papers? Work.
Well, made the comment a long time ago that Trump signs executive orders like a person with diarrhea going through toilet paper. Yeah. Yeah,
right.
it's coming to an end for Trump. It's crashing around him.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
did you have fun today, my love? Did you
I
have
had fun. I always have fun doing this,
Yeah.
working with you, and we're all going through a lot of stress right now. We're all feeling this energy collectively, and I was just hoping very much when we did our show today, we could maybe enlighten people, comfort people. I know that's what Olivia Newton-John wanted to do in her message. She even said, "You guys have been assaulted with politics. I want to talk about something more peaceful and soothing and healing."
Yeah.
That was even our goal today, and I hope we
I think
succeeded.
we did. I think we achieved it.
Yeah.
All right, Chuck, if people want to get a hold of you for a tarot card
Oh,
reading,
yes.
a medical intuitive consultation, or a art, or any of the other cool stuff you do, how do they reach it?
Well, it's very easy. You see my name there. It's just Dransfield Chuck. Reverse my name, one word, dransfieldchuck@gmail.com. And it's always my honor to work with you individually. I even love talking with you individually.
Awesome. And of course, you have a TV, you have a show.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, that too. Chuck's Captivating Chronicles, and a little tiny talk show on Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Chuck's Captivating Chat. I had to miss the show this week because I had a doctor's appointment, but that happens once in a while. Yeah.
All right. And if you'd like to get in for an appointment with me to see the doctor, get a tarot reading, or get a medical intuitive appointment with me as well, you can book me through Booksy. All you have to do is just type Dr. Whimsy Anderson in Google, and then Booksy comes up, or you can get the information below our videos. All right. That's all we have for you.
Thank you, everyone.
Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. Love yourselves, everybody. Get out in nature. Yeah.
Yes, get out in nature.
So much time in the house. That is the warning from spirit. You are too cloistered. And that's what Olivia Newton-John came in to talk. Get out and hug a tree. It sounds but you must go work in the garden. You must get out of the house. You are spending too much time there, and it is vexatious to the spirit. You've got to be spending as much time in nature as you can.
Yeah, literally putting your hands in the soil, having your feet on the soil. We need to be grounded.
Yeah.
We get that from the core of the earth.
Keep us from all this crazy right now.
Yes, all this crazy right now.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Bye. Peace
Bye,
out.
everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Love you
Bye-bye.
guys.